marketing analytics can help you find out if your advertising spend is effective or not. So which basically means that it also helps you take decisions in terms of how much do I spend. In a way, helps you save a lot of money as well.
Got it, sir. So it's the math behind the marketing. It's math behind Lux Sabun ko Alia Bhatt sign karni chahiye ki Deepika Padukone sign karni chahiye. So right, who should be the face of the brand as well? Though Alia Bhatt was there last year. How many years you need to use the face of Alia Bhatt to make sure that they're all math? So I can say that it's a math. The mathematics behind marketing is called as marketing analytics, and also understanding, observing, and making decisions.
Understanding consumers and their willingness to purchase your product, at what price point, when. Again, when is another important thing.
All right, hi everyone, welcome on board. Marketing का नाम change हो चुका है marketing analytics. HR का नाम change हो चुका है HR analytics. And all the things are moving towards technology. Analytics is playing a big role in the entire Indian ecosystem and even the global ecosystem. Today I'm going to make you meet Dr. Subhendu. Hi sir, welcome on board.
Thank you.
So I'm really humbled to have you on board today. आज I am Kozhikode के one of the first few batches of executive management program के alumni हमारे साथ बैठे हैं. Sir, and sir, you've been teaching marketing analytics.
Oh yes, I've been teaching marketing analytics for close to 9 years now.
Close to 9 years.
Yes.
Sir, when I was a student about 14 years back, 13 years back, this name never existed.
Oh yes, I can tell you some interesting, turns of events which have resulted in a whole lot of focused interest on analytics. Now, let me take you back to around 2006, 2007, around that time. You would have observed a lot of, things that happened around that time which have changed the world forever. So if you look at, Google, Facebook, Android, or iPhone, all of these came around 2006, 7, 8. So there must be some reason behind it. And so the reason was given by two wonderful researchers, Branjolfson and McAfee, who had in the book Race Against the Time, they mentioned about the fact that, in 1958, for the first time, IT was brought in, information technology was brought in as a term in the US government parlance. And so that was the first time people started using information technology. And since then, if you look at the, capability doubling, which happened every 18 months, very interesting that from 1958 to 2006 is actually 48 years. Now, how is this 48 years important? It is important because you would have found 32 doublings by that particular time. Now, Sumit, you would recall that old chess board game and a wise man going to a king and asking for grains. So he had asked to put 1 grain in the first square and 2 in the second, and so on and so forth. So what happened is that the king underestimated the reward that wise man by the name Sesha had asked for. And very interestingly, when the king was happy with the chessboard game, it is then that he realized what kind of a huge amount of grain that Sesha had asked for. Now, what happened is, if you look at 32, the total number of grains, roughly if you were to convert it into, let's say, kilograms, it would be roughly about 1 lakh kilograms of grains. Now, if it were at 32 level, the king would have been in a position to give 1 lakh kilograms of grain to the wise man. But the moment it goes to the next half, the total starts suddenly becoming very big. Now, why is it so? If you look at the 33rd square, the historical total up to 32 squares plus 1 gets added to that.
Yeah.
So it doubles and 1.
Plus 1.
So therefore now your volume between one square and the other square is actually increasing exponentially.
Nice. Nice.
So now you go back to 2006, where Brynjolfsson and McAfee, they say that humanity and technology now are on the second half of the chessboard.
Oh.
So when they say that they mean that there is going to be an exponential increase in the technological capabilities. No wonder that resulted in explosion of data the way we see it today.
Wow.
Another interesting aspect is, today historical data is doubling every year. So wherever we closed at on 31st of December 2023 in terms of the historical data, 2024 will produce that much data. And we are moving to a stage where this doubling in some years from now, many experts are talking about it happening every 12 hours. So today when I'm saying about 12 months, you're saying, wow. Just imagine when I say 12 hours, what kind of data are we looking at?
True.
So one of the challenges that Professor Jagdish Seth has very nicely brought up in one of his papers is that previously, the data, you had data, very little data, and you had tools to analyze it. So there would be tools which would be idle. But today, you have a whole lot of data, but not many tools. So today data is chasing those tools, right? So therefore, there is another very interesting thing which people can look at in terms of how do I really look at all the data which is not analyzed and create tools to analyze them.
True.
So maybe the youngsters can look at that, and then there would be a huge market in front of them to.
So please explain us to a layman what is marketing analytics. आपको पढ़ाते nearly 9 years हो चुके हैं, and this term is now all over the place. Like you talk about Google, Facebook, Netflix. There's so much data consumption happening. We just spoke about the power of data. How the data is being compounding. Like एक साल का data is equal to the whole data compounded in the entire history. But yeah, please explain us, sir. What is this all about?
Okay, so let me take an example. You've got a pen. You're writing with that pen, or you're wearing a watch. How is the price of that determined? So, is it determined only based on what goes into manufacturing that product, or is there something else into it? Now, you may find that if you take any of the mobile phones, and if you look at what has gone into it, and you add all of those things up, and you add your margin, etc., still you'll find that the price is much higher than that.
True.
So one of the concepts which is extremely important for any marketer today is to understand what are the consumers willing to pay. So the willingness to pay becomes a determining factor in
setting up the
finding
price.
out what the exact price would be. There are umpteen examples that we see where companies really do not know how much to charge, and once the data gets analyzed, they realize that their revenues can go up to 50, 60, 70% higher as well. A case in point is research done on a company called Zip Recruiters in the US, where the researchers found that a little tweaking in the pricing and the revenue can go up to about 56 to 80%.
Okay.
Now, that's a huge revenue. Nobody would like to lose that.
Of course, yeah.
For a marketing student, therefore, there is an opportunity to, analyze the data and tell his boss that, sir, our revenues can go up.
True.
If you use my model.
Got it.
My students learn those kind of things in the class.
Superb. So price setting भी एक चीज हो गया. I can just relate to McDonald's right now. So McDonald's का burger का price कितना होना चाहिए? 35 rupees का या 25 रुपए का? It could be the case if you keep 25 रुपए या 20 रुपए, you can sell more number of burgers and you can earn, so you can have more revenue than the 35 rupees ka burger. And that's the catch-22 situation for any marketer. So analytics can come into the play and help in the price.
Absolutely.
That's
So,
great.
so very nice point. Now here what happens is, we are not talking just about the price, we are talking about optimizing the revenue. So at what price point does your revenue get optimized?
True.
That's important. It's not just the price. So let's say, you know, we in my class we have a lot of data sets with which my students work, and these data sets I have collected over the last 8-9 years and built that repository. So there are examples where you know, by selling at a lower price, even lower than the manufacturing cost, the revenue goes up much higher. Now you might turn back and ask me, then how is the company making money?
Yeah.
The company is making money by actually selling you know, products which are useful for what do we call it, for, let's say, you know, if you're selling your pen at a little lower price but the refill at a certain price,
Yeah.
you know, the refill would be required for the pen.
True.
Right? So what happens there is, with a little less amount than your cost price, by increasing the number of refills, you're making a lot more money.
Got it. Got it. Makes sense.
You can take this as an example for, let's say, you know, a razor,
Agility razor.
blades, right?
I was making fun with a guy who was selling me something. He was selling his tool, and they were selling like, but for every SMS you need to send, you need to pay money. For every email you want, it was a customer relationship management tool.
Sure.
Like, it's like बंदूक सस्ती है, पर बंदूक की गोली
ज़्यादा
costly.
You're right.
Great.
So you're making money from there, and it's not that वो बंदूक की गोली भी ज़्यादा costly है. There also your willingness to pay
Superb.
comes into action.
Sir, is it like, I'm just going back to my study days, like we got this Harvard case study, C.K. Prahlad came into play and he said bottom of the pyramid, innovation is there. So how would, you know, Marico think about, यार नारियल तेल हम ₹1 का बेचेंगे. So do they do hit and trial कि मैंने 50 पैसे बेचेगा 75 पैसे में, कि it's a lot of data and then they do market research and come to a solution? Because I am a big fan of saying it loud that market research is crap. At least done by our students when we were part of the B schools. I'm not sure how your kids at IB are doing, but sir, हमारे time में तो हम कुछ भी करते थे. But any which ways, your points.
Okay. So I'm not talking about market research,
Yeah.
I'm talking about market analytics,
Yeah.
and I'm not talking about BOP. So BOP, you can't really do much as far as the pricing is concerned.
Okay.
BOP, you have to have that 1 rupee means 1 rupee or 2 rupees means 2 rupees. That sachet has to be there. And CKR has shown us how, you know, you can create those sachets and build a market for that.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about is slightly different. Now, let me give you an example. Say, for example, all of us, you know, today have internet connections. Let's say I take Airtel as an example. Airtel provides services on internet connectivity, so to the mobile phone. It provides, you know, your broadband connectivity at home. And it also provides the OTT platform.
Yeah.
So let's look at these 3 products. Now, say for example, you and me are both approached by Airtel, and my requirement is only the mobile telephony. So I pick that up, and when I pick that up, I look at what the price is, at what are their plans, how are they offering it, etc. And I pick whatever you know, whatever best suits my
Yeah.
requirements based on my willingness to pay. Now let's say you look at it and you say, hey, I also need the broadband connectivity.
Yeah.
But then I also probably, you know, would need the OTT.
OTT, TV as well.
So therefore, now when I look at it, my plan, let's say it's at 100 rupees. The 3 plans put together could be, let's say, 500 rupees.
Yeah.
But if you separately purchase all of those, that would probably cost you 700 rupees.
Right.
How do you arrive at that? How do you arrive at that 500 or 700 or 100, 150? Now that is what we do in marketing analytics.
Got it.
A part of it.
Got it. Of course.
In pricing
price
analytics.
determination is one of the things. Sir, how about understanding consumer behavior?
Okay. Now, when I say willingness to pay, obviously the part of consumer behavior, understanding consumer behavior.
Correct.
So I'll give you another example. You go on vacations. Now, if you plan your vacations early, you'll get good deals on hotels.
Yeah.
You'll get good deals on your flight tickets, right? But if you have not planned your vacation properly, and suddenly you plan, chalo chalte hai abhi, you'll pay much more for the hotel tariff. You'll pay much more for the flight tickets.
Definitely. Right? Ask me, sir. Yeah.
ये बहुत होता है और especially जो business travel करते हैं, आपके plans बहुत पहले से आप नहीं बना सकते हैं,
नहीं बनते.
So फिर क्या करोगे आप? So you end up paying a little more.
True.
How does an airlines arrive at that price? How does a hotel arrive at that price? Now please remember, there is a very interesting thing here. Flight chala gaya and the seat is not booked, it is zero. Same with the hotel. The room was unoccupied today, it's zero for the day.
True.
Right? So if analytics can help me arrive at some kind of pricing wherein I know all those who would be purchasing early would be looking at that particular price.
True.
All those who would be looking at it a little late will be willing to pay a little more.
True.
And therefore I apportion those many number of seats or number of rooms for the lower prices, and I apportion more, less number of rooms or seats for the higher prices. Now there is a complete mathematics behind it. So marketing analytics does that as well.
Does that. बहुत ही बढ़िया sir. So marketing लोग सोचते हैं advertising. It's not, right sir? It's advertising, promotion, it's sales. It's like it's a complete set of marketing, and sales is different though. But फिर भी sir, awareness, interest, desire, action, the AIDA framework of the whole gang of things. Great sir. Sir, this is really an eye opener for me as well. आज हमने दो case study पढ़ी. Sir, any parting thoughts for?
Can I
please
just interrupt there?
Please.
On your advertising. Now, again, marketing analytics can help you find out if your advertising, whatever spent, is effective or not. So which basically means that it also helps you take decisions in terms of how much do I spend. So therefore, it in a way helps you save a lot of money as well.
Got it sir. So it's the math behind the marketing. It's math behind Lux Sabun को Alia Bhatt sign करनी चाहिए कि दीपिका पादुकोण sign करनी चाहिए. So right? Who should be the face of the brand as well? Though Alia Bhatt was there last year. How many years you need to use the face of Alia Bhatt to make sure that they're all math? So I can say that it's a math. The mathematics behind marketing is called as marketing analytics, and also understanding, observing, and making decisions.
Understanding consumers and their willingness to purchase your product, at what price point, when. Again, when is another important thing. So paucity of time, otherwise I'll be teaching the whole marketing analytics here, which is not the idea.
Of course, sir, but that's a really deep down. All right, boys and girls, do drop in the comment. You also drop in a message if you guys have any experience of marketing analytics or any kind of campaign you think where you've given so much of data, or तुम्हें लगता है कि यार ये company is doing it right. It could be Amazon, it could be Flipkart, it could be Nestle, it could be Netflix that you guys use day in day out. Or how do you guys think कि Netflix is able to do these recommendations as well? उसके पीछे भी analytics है. How they're able to plug in? Why Netflix in India is available for 199 rupees only? These are all questions to be solved by Sir's subject, marketing analytics. Thank you so much, boys and girls. Do it on the like button. Thank you so much for joining in, sir. Lovely having you on board.
Same here. Thank you.
Take care, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye.